Welcome to 10 minutes of BPTV News. Thank you for joining us on Binh Phuoc Radio, television station and newspaper. I'm Bích Thủy, BPTV. We begin with headlines for today. Cooperative opportunities for Binh Phuoc province in Halal food. Electronic ID and authentication accounts exceed 19% of target in Binh Phuoc province. Ho Chi Minh City to build second blood bank. We begin in Brunei, where a workshop aimed at promoting the development of Halal industry in the Brunei, Darussalam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, East Asian Growth Area was held recently and chaired by the Embassy of Vietnam in Brunei. The workshop was co-hosted by the Binh Phuoc Investment, Trade and Tourism Promotion Center at the Ninh Thuận Department of Industry to promote cooperative opportunity for Binh Phuoc province.
Ambassador Vietnam to Brunei Chen Anh Vũ said this is an appropriate time for Vietnam to promote halal cooperation with Brunei and the Brunei Darussalam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, East ASEAN growth area. The halal industry is growing very strong, he added, and is a relatively open market as there aren't many technical or tariff barriers. People in Muslim countries are willing to pay for halal products and services of high quality. However, Vietnamese businesses, especially those in Binh Phuoc, are lacking information on the market. Through the workshop, Binh Phuoc expressed a desire to connect with appropriate distribution channels and partners to export agricultural products and typical goods that meet halal standards, and at the same time seek and invite Brunei investors to learn about the province's investment environment. In particular, Binh Phuoc hopes to receive support in training human resources in halal food and especially human resources that can serve the development of a halal tourism industry in the future.
In Phước Long Town, the town led other localities in Binh Phuoc province in the district and department competitiveness index DDCI ranking in 2022, and the town is focusing on improving its score and ranking this year. The DDCI is based on assessment from the business community on the operational capacity of local department, agency, and authorities.
Phuoc Long Town led the DDCI rankings in 2022 with 70.99 points. It was ranked very good in 3 of the 9 sub-indexes and good in 5 of the 9 sub-indexes. With more than 1,000 enterprises and production and business establishments, Phuoc Long Town authorities have introduced a range of solutions to reform administrative procedures, improve the investment environment, and create the conditions necessary to attract investors, contributing to restructuring the local economy, creating jobs, and increasing worker incomes. The town considers the satisfaction of people and businesses as its core goal. In performing their public duties, localities encourage officials and civil servants to shorten the time to finish work, ensure the timely return of documents, and guide people and businesses on resolving administrative procedures. Phuoc Long continues to implement synchronous solutions this year, including promoting administrative reform to increase its score by 4 to 5 points compared to 2022.
Binh Phuoc province has reported that electronic ID and authentication account has exceeded 19% of the target despite difficulty in the implementation process.
In the first 9 months of this year, the implementation of project number 6 in Binh Phuoc province has achieved certain results. The province provides 1780 public service procedures online. The provincial public service portal has launched 1468 services in the national public service portal, including 1067 fully online and 400 partial services. Binh Phuoc digitized 11,480 of 11,960 administrative procedures related records in the third quarter, fulfilling 96%. Its electronic ID and authentication accounts exceed nearly 19% of the target assigned by the Ministry of Public Security.
We continue with the Mexico working visit led by Vice Chairman Trần Quang Phương and Vietnamese officials from September 28 to 30. The two countries have agreed to promote economic trade and investment cooperation.
A delegation of the Vietnamese National Assembly, led by Vice Chairman Tran Quang Phong, paid a working visit to Mexico from the 28th of September 30. During his visit, NA Vice Chairman Phuong held talks with First Vice President of the Senate of Mexico, Sergio Perez Flores, Vice President of the Chamber of Deputies of Mexico, Joana Alejandra Felipe Torres, among others. At the meetings, Phuong briefed the hosts of Vietnam's socio-economic development and expressed his hope for a stronger friendship and cooperation between the two countries' legislative bodies. For their parts, Mexican leaders affirmed that Vietnam is a leading important partner of Mexico in Southeast Asia. They affirmed that Mexico always wishes to strengthen ties with Vietnam on all channels. Within the framework of the visit, NA Vice Chairman Phuong and the Vietnamese delegation met with General Secretary of the Mexican Labor Party, Alberto Anaya, representatives of Mexican agencies, and Vietnamese community in Mexico. The delegation also laid flowers at the President Ho Chi Minh Monument in the Freedom of Ethnic Park in the center of Mexico City.
Vietnam has recorded a significant increase in the number of international tourist arrivals by sea since the beginning of this year. This indicates the strong rebound in the maritime tourism markets with a considerable potential for further development in the coming time.
Vietnam is seen as an attractive market, as the country welcomed many luxurious cruise ships carrying thousands of international travelers to localities across the Southeast Asian nation. Most recently, Spectrum of the Seas of Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, with over 4,000 international visitors on board, has docked at Phu My Port in the southern province of Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu. Experts said sea and island tourism is one of the spearhead tourism products of Vietnam, so attention has been paid to upgrading and developing infrastructure at seaports. Vietnam also has deep sea port systems meeting the docking demand of large cruise ships, and is ready to become a long-term and frequent destination for travelers during their journeys to explore Asia and Southeast Asia, said insiders. They added that some Vietnamese travel firms have sought to serve more travelers from international cruise ships.
The Ho Chi Minh City will spend 700 billion Vietnam dong, equivalent to 28.6 million USD on building the second blood bank, in the context of the first blood bank has sometimes operated at its maximum capacity.
According to the plan, the new blood bank will be able to receive and store 1 million blood units per year until 2050. The first blood bank has sometimes operated at its maximum capacity, a representative from the blood bank said. According to Ho Chi Minh City's authorities, Vietnam had a population of 96 million, and received 1.4 million units of blood, donated by individuals 6 years ago, with 1/3 of the figure collected in the city. The country's population has risen to around 100 million, which means the demand for storing blood has increased.
For Vietnamese people overseas, helping their descendants be fluent in the Vietnamese language has long been an important wish, and the 100,000 Vietnamese people living and working in Laos are no exception.
Born and raised in Laos, though able to communicate relatively well in Vietnamese, 11-year-olds Mai Linh and Ngọc Vân can neither read nor write their mother tongue. Since free Vietnamese classes reopened after being suspended because of COVID-19, Linh and Vân have been learning the language 3 times a week for nearly 2 months. Vân and Linh are two of many young Vietnamese people in Laos who cannot read or write Vietnamese fluently. This is why the Vietnamese Association in Vientiane coordinated with the Vietnamese Embassy and Phật Tích Pagoda in the Lao capital to hold the free classes. A desire to learn Vietnamese is spreading not only among the Vietnamese community, but also among Lao people. Classes like these have not only helped the Vietnamese community in Laos preserve the use of the Vietnamese language, but also helped foreigners gain more understanding of and love for the language.
That's all of our bulletin today. To rewatch this news, you can download BPTV Go or visit our website and YouTube channel. Thanks for staying with us and see you next time.